second leg of the A-League Women's Semi-Finals, and we have arrived at the final round of the A-League Men 2023-24 season. Here's my predictions and thoughts of the upcoming action this weekend in the A-League. There's so much going on. We're going to kick off with our A-League Women's semi-final predictions for the second leg. As we can see here, the aggregate scores: Sydney lead and Melbourne City lead. City with a 3-goal lead. They're looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Is the hope for Mariners and the Jets to bounce back with big performances here in the second leg? Both of those teams who lost the first leg at home, now away from home. First of all, Central Coast Mariners, I thought, showed really some great signs in that first leg. We were really pushing and came so close to scoring an equaliser. It easily could have ended 1-1. Sky Blues holding on for the 1-goal lead. Having said that, though, Sydney FC created some fantastic chances, and there could have been more goals. And because of that, I think I'm going to stick with the prediction that I made for the first leg, which didn't turn out to be true. But look, obviously there's going to be a bit more desperation in the second leg. Central Coast Mariners will still be optimistic that they have a chance in this semi-final tie. I think they're going to push Sydney FC all the way. Sydney FC just have too much quality and experience when it comes to finals time. I hope I'm wrong. I'm telling you right now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Mariners can hold on and get away with a win. But a 2-2 draw, maybe an exciting finish. Potentially Mariners could take it to extra time. We'll see. Sky Blues at home might be able to hold on in the end. Melbourne City host Newcastle Jets. And City, just showed their class and quality in that first leg, scoring some very nice goals. Newcastle Jets, have they got enough to come back? I think it's going to be a huge ask, and I don't think they'll be able to do it. I think they'll get themselves on the score sheet. They've got enough exciting attacking players with Bolden, with Ayres, these players who can step up in the big moment. But Melbourne City, talk about players who can step up in the big moments. They've got that in abundance, haven't they? I think Jets, obviously, again, similar to Mariners, will be desperation, pushing for this. They might get a goal, but that'll obviously open up some spaces at the back. And City, as they showed in the first leg, clinical in front of goal, will take those opportunities. I think they grabbed some more goals in their second leg, 3-1 potentially to end 6-1 on aggregate there for Melbourne City, which, if those predictions come true, Melbourne City hosting Sydney FC in the grand final of the A-League Women's the following weekend, which that would be a juicy matchup, that's for sure. Two really, really fantastic teams who have been fantastic, who've been so impressive this season. Let's jump into our A-League men's predictions now. And again, dude, just so many talking points when we look at this final round. Brisbane Roar hosts Adelaide United to kick off the weekend. Roar, well, for both these teams, we can say similar things about them. They're right next to each other on the ladder. They've shown promise throughout. They've shown, good. They've put in good performances throughout the season here and there, but it just hasn't been consistent enough. And both have underperformed, you get to say, especially Adelaide, who will be disappointed that they have fallen out of finals this year, being a team who pretty consistently finish in the top 6. Brisbane Roar, though, look, there's a chance for them to finish off with a home win in front of the home fans. Can they get it done? I think with this game as well, with these teams who are sort of, out of finals contention, we've seen it already as well with like the Glory Western game last week. It's goals galore, and it could be goals galore here once again up in Brisbane. I'm going to go 3-2 Raw to get a win here. Necessary Irakunda's final game in the A-League, it should be said. We wish Irakunda all the best and maybe a couple goals to finish off, to send him off as he jets off to Germany after this. Newcastle Jets, Central Coast Mariners. Now, of course, we should say Central Coast Mariners will be taking on Adelaide United at a later date. At the time of this recording, that date hasn't been set, but it should be after the coming weekend's matches. So, Newcastle Jets here, coming into this F3 derby with some decent form, a few wins here and there, and a draw at home against Phoenix last week. They have an opportunity here, Newcastle, who have had a disappointing season, to stop the Central Coast Mariners from winning their first Premier's Plate in over a decade. Massive matchup here. Central Coast Mariners, who are obviously going to be coming off the midweek fixture in the AFC Cup, going to make sure they back up quickly and put in a strong performance here. Despite Newcastle Jets struggling this season, Central Coast will have to be at their best. The Jets are in good form at the moment, and at home would love to get the win here against Mariners. But Central Coast, just time and time again, even though there's maybe been some worrying moments here and there. The losses to Sydney FC have just always responded so well to adversity, Central Coast Mariners, and I think will show up in the pressure moment here to get a win, to lift them back on top of the table. But right at the same time, Phoenix host Macarthur FC. So Mariners might not be on the top of the table for too long because, this should be an interesting game because the Bulls... massive effort last week from Macarthur SC to hold on for a 1-0 win with just 9 players against Sydney FC. Without Vujicic, without Smith, heading over to New Zealand against the top of the table Wellington Phoenix. Going to need to put in a massive performance. And there's something on the line here for Macarthur. If they lose this game, there's a good chance that they drop out of the top 4, which means they'll be the away team in the elimination final. As we know, the 3rd and 4th place teams host those elimination finals. So that's what's on the line for Macarthur here if they want to be one of those hosting teams in the elimination finals. My prediction, 2-1 Phoenix. It's got to be right. It's got to be. Even though Macarthur have had a good season this year, Phoenix too strong at home. The Bulls should have enough to push them and maybe get a goal here away to Wellington Phoenix. But Wellington, that should have a massive crowd for this game too. What an occasion it'll be for Wellington Phoenix in the final regular season game, and we'll be hosting a final, of course, as well next month. Melbourne Victory host Western Sydney Wanderers. Victory cruising. Not ending the season with the most amazing form, but we'd like to get a win here to obviously head into finals with some decent form. Set to finish 3rd, hosting Western Sydney Wanderers, who this is the game for them. They just have to win. They have to win and hope that City drop points. That's the equation for Western Sydney Wanderers if they want to be playing finals football. Can they do it against Melbourne Victory? I think they're going to push them. I think considering the circumstances and considering, Victory maybe not looking at their best at the moment, I'm saying 2-2 draw. I think this could be an interesting game. I think most people would probably tip a Victory win. Wanderers have just been too inconsistent at the moment, and Victory overall. I was about to say have a stronger squad. Maybe that's up for debate. They're in overall, though, they've obviously been stronger this season, Melbourne Victory, and I think we'll be expected to get a result here at home. But Wanderers, I think, will push them all the way, 2-2 draw, but that will still be enough to secure a 3rd place for Melbourne Victory, who don't need to do anything crazy in this game. Just got to play it safe, stay injury-free, and prepare for finals. Sydney FC host Perth Glory. This, again, stands out as maybe one of the easier predictions for the weekend. Glory, unfortunately, picking up the wooden spoon this year for them. Sky Blues, again, similar to Macarthur, need a result from this game if they want to host an elimination final. I think they get it. 4-1 as well, and Glory just conceding goals left, right, and centre at the moment. And I think there'll be more goals conceded here for Perth. Maybe a goal for Adam Taggart here. Obviously, a little subplot, if you like, in the narrative in this final round is the Golden Boot race. We've got Bruno Fornaroli of Melbourne Victory, who's up there. Adam Taggart, though, 19 goals now for the season. His teammates will be, making sure they're sending it into him at every opportunity. Get him some goals. Get him the Golden Boot. The round finishes off with Melbourne City hosting Western United, a fixture which was played in the opening round of the season as well, and Western won that game. Could they do it here? Western have been a fun team to watch in the last couple last month or so, I guess. Big 4-3 win against Perth last week. We think back to a few weeks ago, they defeated Macarthur 4-2. They're finishing the season with some goals, Western United, which is something that they've really lacked this season. Against a good Melbourne City side, I think it's going to be too much to ask. City get it done. City finishing the season strong and could be one of these teams heading into the finals as a team to watch out for. Melbourne City, they've been really pretty mediocre this season by their high standards, and heading into the finals with good form, they could defeat anyone on their day. And that would then set up a Melbourne Derby elimination final, which wouldn't that be thrilling? Melbourne Victory hosting City in an elimination final. Then we would have Sydney FC hosting Macarthur FC in the other elim. Two very spicy derby matches there. And again, the Adelaide Mariners fixture, not scheduled yet, but I would, regardless of what happens in this weekend, I would still back Mariners to get a win here against Adelaide United. Busy schedule, I know, but Mariners should be getting the win at home. If that happens, Mariners would lift the premiership plate, which would be just massive for the club, man. It's been such a long time since we won that trophy. It would be a huge achievement. It's going down to the wire, which is what we want in the A-League men's competition. Feel free to throw your predictions in the comments section. Join the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys tuning into all these prediction videos throughout the season. My name is Lockie. This is Coswood Football. See you guys in the next one.